So let's talk about the functions of retinoid. What actually does it do? It feels like it comes up a lot, like acne, retinoid, skin barrier, retinoid, retinoid. It feels like people are always calling his name everywhere. Yes, it's for a reason. The functions of retinoids can be broadly classified into three main functions. Now, you have anti-aging, sun-damaged skin, anti-acne, and anti-pigmentation. Let's start with anti-aging. So anti-aging and reversal of sun-damaged skin cells. Okay, let me explain why I put these two together. So when your skin ages, one of the primary things you see that you know that your skin is aging essentially is wrinkles and fine lines. That's how you know a young person's skin and an older person's skin, a mature person's skin. Appearance of wrinkles and fine lines, loss of muscle tone, loss of firmness of the skin, essentially. So a lot of things happen in your skin that arise to this. I'll touch on that as well. Everything that happens in your skin before you can see it as aging can be fast-tracked by sun exposure. In fact, now the reason why we see wrinkles and fine lines as early as we see them is because of sun exposure, UV damage. Do you understand? Otherwise, we should be seeing wrinkles, fine lines, loss of elasticity way later in life. And that's why it feels like, you know, our sisters that and brothers that are in abroad, especially abroad that is very cold, you see them looking all fresh and supple. That element of UV damage is not there. No, they still have some degree of UV damage, but it's not as bad as ours that in a very hot, humid, UV popping country. Do you get? So yes, no matter you will age, you will lose collagen, you will lose elastin, you will lose all these things. But honestly speaking, hey God, someone can age you 60% faster than you ordinarily would. Is that significant, honestly speaking? So let's talk about what happens in your skin that causes aging. Now, this will help you appreciate what retinoids are actually doing. Because if I tell you what they do, you may not be able to link them. I know in our channel, we demystify things, we break down things. Now, so the major thing that is happening in your skin, both in the epidermis and in the dermis, is that your skin is thinning out. There are different factors that cause it, but that's the major thing. So for your epidermis, for example, you have different layers. Your epidermis, when it is thick and robust, your skin barrier is intact. It helps, prevent things from getting into your skin, prevents you from losing water. Everything is working together. Your keratinocytes are on point. Your skin cells are being, rejuvenated, and constantly new cells are being produced. All these things are happening. All these things are happening, and your skin is looking healthy. Now, as you age, production of skin cells reduce. So you have now less skin cells in the epidermis, less things for your skin barrier to work with, and then wrinkles and fine lines become obvious. Like your skin is now thin, the skin barrier is not working well, you are prone to dehydration and dryness. Obviously, when you are dehydrated and dry, you see like lines. How much more when you are aging on top? Do you get? So you have less skin cells there. So the number one cause of thinning out of your epidermis, and which ultimately now leads to your skin barrier, is the reduction of production of new cells. Just bear it in mind. So when I talk about the functions of retinoids, it will make sense to you. The dermis, which is the support system of your skin, that's where your collagen is, your elastin is, your gags are. I'll explain that. Your gags are. That part is also thinning out. So let me explain what's happening. So there's reduction of elastin, reduction of collagen, and reduction of something called Gags. So that's glycosaminoglycans, your ground substance essentially. Now, one popular ground substance is hyaluronic acid. So yes, you have hyaluronic acid in your skin as well. So collagen, you always hear of collagen. What is collagen? Collagen is located in the dermis. That's why creams that contain collagen, I don't know how they work because it can't penetrate. That's a story for and gist for another day. Let's focus on this one first. So collagen is the major protein in your body. It's what gives your body support. So it is what gives your skin firmness. Do you understand? Now, as you age, now somewhere in your mid-20s or your early 20s, I can't remember which, but as you age, you start losing 1% of collagen every single year. Just know, every year you lose 1%. And that's why sometimes you don't think that you are aging, your skin looks like the same for a very long time, and all of a sudden, boom, you just compare your pictures of 5 years ago, and now you're like, I am actually aging. Yes, because you're not observing it, but actually 1% is being lost every year. Also, remember I said that whatever your skin goes through naturally as you age is fast-tracked by sun exposure. Now, while your skin is reducing 1% of collagen naturally because you are existing, now UV damage destroys collagen fiber, plus the fiber for collagen knows scatters everything. Do you get? So imagine when you naturally are reducing collagen, sun exposure is on its own destroying it. So that's one. Then also, still on the collagen matter, there are some things called fibroblast cells. Now these are the cells that produce collagen. As you age also, these cells reduce. They're no more as functional as they ordinarily should be. Essentially, collagen is not being produced as fast as it should. The ones that are there are being depreciated every single year, and the sun is on one hand giving you bad boosts. Do you get? So I want you to think of, hold that thought. You see this thing I just said? Write it down. So when I'm talking about the functions of retinoid, it would make sense. Do you get? Now, another thing again that's happening in your skin is your elastin fibers are also depreciating. Elastin fibers or elastic fibers or elastin is what gives your skin the ability to expand and contrast. You know how you pinch your skin, it bounces back. You know when you pinch your baby skin, it bounces back. But then try pinching a woman in her 70s, it won't bounce back. You just stay there like that. I'm looking at you. Now it's because the elastin fiber, the elastic fibers or elastin. Why do I keep mixing that thing up? But it's not as robust and as functional as it ordinarily should. So just like collagen, sun exposure also damages the elastic fiber. It's called solar elastosis. This is where sun exposure damages your elastic fibers or the elastin in your skin. Once again, sit on that. Also, when you're aging, another thing that is being lost is something called Gags. I mentioned it's called glycosaminoglycans, and what they do is, like hyaluronic acid, they're in charge of giving your skin a plump. Do you get? They help your skin bind water. So when you have enough of that, your skin looks hydrated, it looks plump. Then lastly, the last thing that's happening in your skin as you're aging is your blood vessels. So your blood vessels are located in the dermis, and through your blood vessels, microcirculation happens, so the circulation of blood. Now, when that is functioning properly, your skin looks luminous, like you look radiant from within when blood is properly circulating. That's why some people look like, they are glowing from inside. This is primarily one of the reasons. Now, when you age, some of those blood vessels become dilated, some of them just stop working, new ones are not being formulated, circulation is just not as smooth, and that's why your skin now looks sallow, dull as you are aging, as opposed to when the skin is young, youthful, and vibrant. So now we understand everything that's going on in our skin. Where do retinoids come in? Retinoids has the ability to address all these things from the beginning to the end. Everything I just mentioned. Let's start with the epidermis. What do retinoids do there? Now, how retinoids work is thickening the skin. First of all, retinoids increases production of skin cells. So it gets into your skin, it goes to the basal layer. Your skin cells are being produced at the basal layer of the epidermis. That's the last layer of the epidermis. It goes there and increases cellular production. So there's now more cells being produced while it's thickening up the epidermis, because epidermis is made up of different layers. At the very top of the epidermis is called the stratum corneum. That is where what you see. That's where your dead skin cells are. That is your skin barrier. there's a kind of balancing that has to be made on that level. You want to be able to exfoliate your dead skin, but you don't want to do it so much that you take off the entire skin barrier. Do you get? Retinoid gives you the perfect balance. So what they do is they thin out your stratum corneum, but not so much that it doesn't protect you. So when your stratum corneum is thinner, it could be advantageous and disadvantageous. It could be advantageous in the sense that you have less dead skin cells, so your skin is glowing. But then, because it's thinner, it can make you more sensitive to the sun and to different things, because now you don't have a lot of dead skin that is giving you some form of protection. So that's why when you're using retinoids, you have to use a sunscreen. So it's not like in itself it's making you more sensitive, but because it's thinning out your stratum corneum, you have to use a sunscreen to prevent, because you don't want to keep going around in a circle. You thin it out, then you don't use a sunscreen, then sun now fires you, then you now get dark again. You don't want that cycle. Do you get? So it's thickening the epidermis. So your epidermis is thick, but your dead skin cells are less, and that's why your skin now looks vibrant and radiant. Now, not only does it do that, it also speeds your skin cell turnover time. So it's one thing to produce cell, because normally how your skin turns over is, so it produces new cell, then the new cells migrate upward. That's called keratinization. It migrates upwards, then discomates. Now, I'm using my words carefully. I didn't say exfoliate. Exfoliate is when you use your hand to remove the dead skin cells. Discomate is when your skin uses his hand to remove the dead skin cells. Do you understand? So normally, if your skin is functioning properly, what should be happening is new skin cells should constantly be produced. It should constantly go upwards, and it should discomate. Now, retinoid resets everything, so it makes your skin produce new cells faster. It makes your skin move the new cells upwards faster, and also helps your skin to remove the old skin cells. Retinoid is just big. So that's on the epidermis level. That's what it does there. In the dermal level, it increases the production of collagen, and it prevents the degradation of collagen. Don't get twisted though. You will still age, but it will slow you down significantly. Another thing it does is increases like the availability of gags. And the thing about retinoid is, I read in one article, I think that's the only article I've read this in, so I don't know how true that is, but I trust them, Sha. You get you don't want too much gags in your skin. Just the right amount helps your skin look plump and yummy. Now, too much of gags would do the opposite, to make you wrinkle. That's why there are some dogs that have this wrinkle face. I can't remember what species, but those dogs have excess gags. That's their problem. But retinoids helps you strike that balance. They encourage production of gags, but then they prevent it from being plenty. I beg, can we just clap for this ingredient, please? Amazing. Then it also reverses damage that has been done to our elastic fibers as a result of sun exposure. So that means, like, remember I talked about solar elastosis. It can reverse that. So the thing about retinoid is that not only can it prevent, do you get? So, I mean, it's good if you started early to prevent all these things. Not only can it prevent, it can reverse damage that has already been done to your skin, especially if it was as a result of sun exposure, which most of us are in this WhatsApp group. Now, for your blood vessels, don't think I've forgotten that though. I didn't just give you that background story for giving you sake. I told you that sun exposure and aging can cause your blood vessels to get dilated, to stop functioning properly, to just affect the microcirculation of blood. Retinoid can also go there and reverse that and help your blood circulate properly, so you start glowing from within. Very importantly, please listen. No, it can also remove precancerous cells, so cells that are not growing properly and have a potential of evolving into being malignant or cancerous. It can also remove that. Yeah, so even if you don't do it for these other vain reasons, like the ones that I'm interested in, if you are for me, I'm not vain, think about this one. It can help you, to an extent. It's bold to say let's not prevent skin cancer, but actually they help to reverse and remove precancerous cells. So to that extent, it can help you prevent skin cancer. There's nothing trumps sun avoidance and using sunscreen if you want to prevent skin cancer, but this is also something that you should consider opting for. The next is acne. Just when you think that you said it all. Now, why I delved so much in anti-aging is that anti-aging is a very robust topic, and I just used that to just address that topic. So for acne, how do retinoids work? The key things in the formation of acne: oily skin, clogged pores, bacteria, and inflammation. So what it does is it shrinks the sebaceous glands and reduces oil production. On the other hand, it's preventing your skin cells from sticking together. When there's reduced oil and when the skin cells are not sticking, where is the acne forming now? And even if it now clogs, do you get? Retinoids are anti-inflammatory, so they help to calm down the inflammation. They help to prevent that inflammation from happening. They don't necessarily kill the bacteria, but they prevent the inflammation that happens as a result of the bacteria breeding in the clogged pores. Do you get? So they do a lot of prevention job. That's why if you're acne prone, it's advisable to always have a retinoid in your routine. And for the purposes of acne, now obviously retinoic acid, retinol, retinaldehyde, all could help. Do you get? If your issue is acne, my sister, my brother, focus on tretinoin or adapalene. Now the third thing is hyperpigmentation, and I covered this in my video on hyperpigmentation, because what happens is, obviously when there's hyperpigmentation, do you get, the skin cells that they already have hyperpigmentation, the new skin cells that are being produced are not hyperpigmented. Do you get? So when new skin cells are produced like by fire, by force, and the old skin cells are pushed into being exfoliated, over time all the cells that are pigmented would be pushed upwards and exfoliated. Do you get? So that's one. And also because new skin cells are constantly being pumped out and they're quickly being pushed upwards, there's no time for a lot of melanin transfer to happen. So when do you use retinoids? It depends on which of them. Some of them are photostable, some are not. Photostable means something that is stable in the sun, can be used in the mornings. So it depends on the type of retinoids. For example, tretinoin and retinol are usually unstable, so use them at night, except the product has been formulated to be stable in the sun. For example, there's something called micronized tretinoin. Now this is stable in the sun. If you're confused, just look at what the product said. Did they say morning or night? And stick with what they said. Do you get? If you are using things like adapalene and tazaratin, it is photostable and can be used in the morning. Yeah, so for side effects, retinoids could be very irritating. A lot of people back out because of the irritation that can arise from using it. You experience dryness, dehydration, flaky skin, redness, purging. Many things can happen, but if you stick it through, it is worth it. Not everybody experiences all these things. It depends on your own skin. Do you understand? If you have tough skin, like my friend, I gave her 0.05%, and she never. One day she just told me, this part is feeling dry. The next day she was fine. Me, I've been struggling. I've been struggling, honestly speaking. I'll get to my story at the end of the video, but yeah. If you have acne, you most likely will experience some purging, because the way it works, it speeds up your skin cell turnover time. So all that acne that was in your skin that maybe should have surfaced in a space of maybe 3 months, you may use 1 week to bring everything out. But if you stick it through, if you now live at that point, what's the point? Do you get? So if you just persevere and just be there, eventually you will smile. Do you get? But you have to be careful. You don't want to over irritate your skin, especially if you're black. But if you over irritate your skin, it will lead to inflammation, because your skin wants to fight that, and then hyperpigmentation. And that's why some people use retinoid and they feel like they're now very black. It's because of, most likely, now it could be that because it's speeding up your skin cell turnover, is carrying up all the cells that had hyperpigmentation up before it sheds it out for new skin to come out. So that could be a reason, and that reason could be that you're just over irritating your skin, and your skin is now inflamed, and then hyperpigmentation. So because you don't know which one is happening, just be careful. Our advice that is just general tips, because I think I've covered most things. Yeah, general tips. If you are new and you don't have, your issue is not acne, start slow. Start with the retinol or retinaldehyde before you dabble into the king of kings. I will also advise you to do it. Start every other day. You must not, I want to get the result. No, because they lie. Calm down. You'll not get it like that. It takes time, man. It takes time. You can start with every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, lower concentrations. Just play around. Just play around with it until you build a tolerance to it. Personally, this retinoic acid business thing, I've been going on and off. Anytime I try, I back out. Anytime I try, I back out. I try, I back out. Because I always come with force. And honestly speaking, I don't have patience for retinol. I want that Retinoid, that's what I want. Do you get? So I know sometime in January I tried it. No, not January. Sometime last year, September, I tried it. My skin just went from smooth to being extremely rough. And my wedding was for December. I had to stop because I didn't want to do anything that I won't be able to recover before then. So I stopped. I said I would start this year. January I started. I went like 3 shades darker, and that's because I've not even listened to my advice. I will start doing it every day. So I resumed again. Last week, and last 2 weeks, yes. And I used it twice last week, 3 times last week. I observed that my skin is not the greatest, honestly speaking, right now. But forget the makeup, it's not the greatest right now. But I'm assuming this is the process, and this time around I'm going to stick it through. I will stick it through and let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, oh god, this video was very long, very long. Also, let me see if I'm forgetting anything. You need a very thin film. It is not a moisturizer. Biko, I beg in the name of God. Just put small. So moisturize your face first. It will help you fight the irritation. Put a very thin whatever on your hand, dab it across your face and massage it. It would, don't worry, it will spread. Don't worry yourself. You just need a very thin film. Don't use it in pregnancy. Also, slow down on your acids because it's irritating and it thins out the stratum corneum. And you remember, when you start, you want to build tolerance to it. So slow down on your acids, your glycolic, your salicylic acid. Just put that aside first, so that there's not a lot going on in your skin. Like right now, I'm trying to use it, and I'm not using anything else. I'm just using moisturizer in the mornings and sunscreen, and at night my cleanser, moisturizer, and my retinoid. Do you get? So yeah, always use a sunscreen and avoid sun exposure. And yeah, that is all we have for retinoids. Whew, what a very long video, but thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment. I would respond to them. Yeah, thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.